Function of the heart. Pumps oxygenated and nutrients-rich blood to body through blood vessels. Pumps deoxygenated blood containing wastes to the lungs, where gas exchange to the outside environment occurs. Anatomy of the heart. Located under rib cage and in between the lungs. Size varies depending on age, size, and condition of heart. On average, the heart is about the size of that person's clenched fist. 4 chambers of the heart: right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. Arteria: the upper 2 chambers of the heart receive and collect blood. Ventricles: the lower 2 chambers of heart pump blood out of heart. Septum: muscle that divides heart into right and left halves. Valves: heart valves: tricuspid valve, pulmonary semilunar valve, mitral, bicuspid valve, aortic valve. The purpose: prevent backflow of blood, keep blood flowing in one direction. Flow of blood: deoxygenated blood from the upper and lower body flows through superior and inferior vena cava. Number 2, the superior and inferior vena cava empty blood into the right atrium. Number 3, blood from right atrium passes through tricuspid valve. Number 4, blood passes through the tricuspid valve into right ventricle. Number 5, blood from the right ventricle passes through pulmonary semilunar valve. Number 6, blood flows through the pulmonary semilunar valve into the right and left pulmonary arteries. Number 7, pulmonary arteries take blood to the lungs for gas exchange. In the lung capillaries, blood picks up oxygen and transfers carbon dioxide to lung for exhalation. Blood becomes oxygenated. Number 8, right and left pulmonary veins bring the blood back to the heart. Number 9, pulmonary veins empty blood into the left atrium. Number 10, the blood from the left atrium flows through the mitral or bicuspid valve. Number 11, after passing through the mitral valve, blood enters the left ventricle. Number 12, blood from left ventricle passes through aortic semilunar valve. Number 13, after passing through the aortic semilunar valve, the blood enters the aorta and is then pumped to the rest of the body. Circulation. Pulmonary circuit. Movement of blood from the heart to the lungs and back to the heart. Systemic circulation. Movement of blood from the body to the heart and back to the body. Why do you think the left side of heart is larger than the right? The answer: because the left side has to pump blood further. Why do you think the left side of heart is larger than the right? Answer: because left side to pump blood further. Contraction. Systole, contract. Arterial systole. When arteria contracts and pump blood into the ventricle. Ventricular systole. When ventricle contracts and pump blood out of heart to the lung or body. Distole, relax. When arteria and ventricle relax and start to fill with the blood. Electrical system, aka the cardiac conduction system, consists of 3 parts: sinoarterial (SA) node, arterioventricular node, bundle of His, Purkinje fiber. Electrical system. Number 1. Electrical signals start at the SA node as the blood fills the right atrium. The signal causes the atrium to contract. The SA node sets the base of the heart, so it's called the pacemaker. Number 2. Signal arrives at the AV node as the blood fills the ventricle. Number 3. Signal moves along the bundle of His and along the walls of ventricles. The bundle of His divides into right and left branches and then to Purkinje fiber. The ventricle contracts. Number 4. Signal passes and ventricle relax. Example of heart disease conditions: Number 1. Congesting heart failure. The heart is too weak or stiff to pump blood effectively. Myocardial infarction, heart attack. The coronary artery is blocked, so blood cannot supply the heart with oxygen, and heart muscles dies. Atrial fibrillation, abnormal electrical impulses in the atrium cause irregular heartbeat. Ways to prevent heart disease. Don't smoke or use tobacco. Exercise 30 minutes a day. Eat heart-healthy diet, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, fish, not saturated or trans. The chambers of the heart. The heart is divided into the left and right chamber by septum. Each side of heart is divided into an atrium, top, and ventricle, bottom. Each side of heart is divided into atrium, top, and ventricle. The valves of heart. The chambers of heart are separated by the following valves. Atrioventricular valve, tricuspid valve, separates right atrium and ventricle. Mitral valve bicuspid, separates left atrium and ventricle. Semilunar valve, aortic valve, separate the left ventricle from aorta. Pulmonic valve, separate right ventricle from pulmonic artery. The muscles of heart. The heart has specific muscles that cause the heart to contract and open and close the heart valves. Some of these muscles. Trabecular hernia, irregular muscles of ventricles. Corda tendineae, small cords that connect the heart valves to the papillary muscles. The heartbeat. The sound of your heart beating has two parts. S1 lub is when AV values of your heart close and the blood is pushed out of the heart to the rest of the body. This is called systole. S2 dub is when the semilunar valve of the heart closes and the heart fills with blood. This is called diastole.